Okay, so now we will be defining our function. Okay, there's one more mistake. This has to be small c. Okay, now we will go to our wrapper controller, and what's the name of our function this time? Handle click. Okay, to remove typing errors, I will simply copy this, and the function name is handle click, and I will remove other things from here. Okay, so this function, it will handle the button clicks. So first what I will do, first of all, I will grab the value of my attribute. Remember the first line, we have defined a simple attribute by name text. So maybe I can call it attribute value equals to component dot get v dot text. So text is the name of that attribute, the unique identifier. Okay, and because this is JavaScript, you don't need the exclamation mark for binding or whatever. Okay, so here what we have done, from that attribute which name was text, let me show you that as well. Okay, name was text, so it will grab this value from here. Okay, we have grabbed that value. Now I told you that we have two lines calling the same function. So how do we differentiate? See, one is HTML and one is standard UI component. So Lightning component can easily identify whether it's coming from a standard UI component or it's coming from a third-party HTML. Okay, so for that there's something called as, because that will pass the event. Here it is click, here it is press. It is on click, here it is press. So it will understand, and how do it do that? It simply have a standard method event dot get source. So it will automatically get the source of the event, and if it's UI component then it is true, if it is not then it is false. Okay, so we can differentiate this between if, and here will be our else. Okay, so it will automatically differentiate that. If event.getSource is true, means if the event is coming from a standard UI component, then execute this, else execute this. So on the click of the button, these two buttons, same method will be called, same function will be called, but this will execute the if part and this will execute the else part. Okay, and we will see it right now. So what we will do, we will define a variable here. Let's say I define a variable, a global variable where target. Okay, and in target I can simply store the source if I want. If I want to use the source later or whatever it is, so I can simply store the source, or to on click of a button I need to do something. So let's say I append the value, because we are displaying the value v.text here. So we here right now it is displaying just like that, and this we have done in the previous video as well. So on the click of the button we will append this value to this. On click of this button we will append this value to this. Okay, so when you click this button it will change to I am standard instead of just like that. Okay, and how do we do that? We simply set the value, component dot set v dot text and set it by target dot get. What we want the label of that, v dot label. Okay, component dot set v dot text target event dot get source and get the label of that, so v dot label. Else, if it is not the standard button, it is a custom button. So I will simply copy this, and this time since it is not a standard component, so we can't simply use target equals to event dot get source. So here we need to use the value, because you see in this HTML it is value, in this it is label. Okay, so UI component Lightning can easily understand this, but for that we need to make some changes, label and value. Okay, so for that we have to write it like this, target equals to event dot target dot value. Okay, the event and what was the target and what was the value of that event. And then once again component dot set v dot text, and instead of that either I can use this target or I can use the full line event dot target dot value. Save it. If let's refresh our page, and if everything is fine, this should work. I am wrong, just like that nothing will work. I am composite, I am composite, I am standard, I am standard. You can see this. So I am composite, I am standard. So hope you were able to understand. The only thing which I wanted to explain here, that you can easily differentiate the event and you can call different part of a function, or you can even call different function. See, if these two have been calling different function, then life would have been easier. You write one function for this, you write one function for this. That's very simple. But in the same function, if you have to have different handlers or different part to be called on different clicks, so you need to identify the source, and by using the get source event.getSource component, the standard way, you can do that easily. Okay.